Hello mi amores, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Valerie, and today we're doing a story time. And the story is completely different from something I experienced, something I've been still dealing with, like coping with it, and it's hard. And all right guys, so this story is the time I lost my brother in a river. And pretty much I'm just gonna try my best, because it's still a hard topic, a hard thing for me to really speak about without getting emotional. But that's understandable, you know. It's still something. You lose somebody, you're still gonna, you know, get emotional speaking about it, you know. But it's been 2 years, and I feel that I'm a little bit more, like, I'm much stronger now than I was probably a couple months ago, a year ago. I feel like I'm able to at least go through the whole video. Like, I'm able to speak about my experience and how things happen. So this story, I lost my brother. He was only 23 at the time. 23, 24. Gosh. But yeah. And so this was on a Sunday, mid-afternoon, like early afternoon. And I remember because he lived upstairs from where I was living with my mom. And I had my youngest daughter. She was not one yet. Her birthday was 2 days away from this Sunday. So I see my brother and his girlfriend coming down. They were waiting in the porch because they were waiting for their friends to come pick them up, because they were all going to for a fishing trip to this river. And I remember going out to the porch with my youngest, and he was just sitting down. Like, I feel like he wasn't even on his phone. Like, he was on his phone, but like he was there but not there. Like, I don't know if someone could feel like something's gonna happen to them. Like, I feel like that's something, I'm not sure, but I personally feel like when that day, and I just sit back and I always think about it, I'm like, yo, I felt like he felt something already, that something was going to happen, something was going to happen there or over there, like something was going to occur. And because his whole mood was different, he's always all talkative and loud, like but he was so quiet and just sitting down like nothing. And I remember he was wearing a hat, and as I'm talking to his girlfriend, I'm over here like playing with the baby, holding my daughter, and I like run away with his hat with my daughter. Like, she's all laughing and stuff. I remember giving him back his hat, and his friends all came, you know, they leave, and I remember is him saying, all right sis, I'll see you later, I love you. Those are the last I'm trying, guys. So those were the last words he said to me that day, because later on that night I get a knock on the door from my neighbors upstairs. And before that, I'm in the living room and I hear a whole commotion from the neighbors upstairs, and as they were like yelling, like crying, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? But I just like ignored it. But I hear then suddenly, like, I hear this long bang, bang, bang on my mom's door. My mom wasn't home. My other brother, youngest brother, wasn't home. I was home with my kids. And I remember opening the door and they were like, call your mom, like do this, do that. And they're like, they can't find him. They can't find your brother. They can't find Jamie. They can't. I'm like, wait, like, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, like, he went underwater. Like, he went under the water. And at that moment, I just broke down crying. I'm much stronger now, guys. So I broke down crying, and first thing I do was like quickly call my mom, and I'm already like crying. And it's hard because, you know, as a daughter, you gotta break the news to the mom that her son is nowhere to be found, like, you know. And me, oh gosh, it's so hard. But me remembering this moments like that happened, I still remember my mom's cries. Oh god, I won't cry. But I still remember her cries, like her yelling me on the phone because I had to tell her. And I remember telling my mom, like, Mom, ¿dónde tú estás? Like, Mom, where are you? She's like, oh, like, she's over here. And I'm like, Mom, like, no lo encuentran a Jaime. Like, Mom, they don't find him. And she's like, but what happened? Like, what? I'm like, Mom, que se hundió. Like, he drowned. Like, they can't find him. He went underneath the water. And they just wasn't able to get to him. Or, you know, I just remember her just crying and whatnot. So I remember hanging up and me trying to stay calm. And then I guess I stood home. Remember, I stood home that night. I remember my cousin and my uncle came to check up on us, and it was a real emotional time because I had my daughters, so I wasn't able to go that night, on that Sunday night, to go search for him. But apparently what happened that day, he was fishing. Then he decided to go with his friend for a swim, to try to swim across to the other side, like where they were. He just tried to swim across. But the whole story was that he eventually started getting like tired, and the current was too strong for him, that it just started dragging him out to a bigger part of the river. And he eventually just kept going up and down. So everyone that was there tried, but couldn't. As a sister, it is frustrating because you wish to be there because you probably could have done something, or you felt anger because I felt like they didn't do enough for him. And that's something till this day I still think about it. I'm like, yo, they could have done more than what they did. They could have saved them. They could have done more than what they did. But they try, like, it's, I couldn't blame anyone that was there. I couldn't point a finger. I was just trying to process the whole thing in my head. Like, so this happened, you jumped in, like, did you try? Did you do, like, what could have been done? To this day, I'm like, what could have been done to actually save them? Like, what else could have been done? And there's different ways, I guess, where tried to get him out, but it was too much. It's hard. So that night, I remember, my cousin, my uncle came. I was home with my daughter, so I couldn't join my father. I couldn't join my uncles. I couldn't join my brother, my mom, friends, girlfriend. I couldn't join them in the search. Like, they were searching for him. And here in my head, because I'd never been there in that river, where, like, in that area, that section they were in, I wasn't thinking Like, I didn't know it was like just a whole river. Like, I'm over here thinking, you know, they went fishing like in a little like rocky places that, you know, just like the current actually just drags you, it doesn't drag you down. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe he's hurt, he, you know, in the woods somewhere, like laid down, like tired, like can't make it out or something. That's what I was trying to process everything in my head, but it wasn't like that. So the story was that night every crews were called. Oh my god, those people that go underwater. Oh my god, what's their name? But you know, the police department was called. Everybody was there searching for him, but he wasn't not found. Then the next morning, that was a Sunday night. The next morning, which was Monday, and this was in June, guys, of 2018, and it was June 3rd when he went missing, you know. And in their words, he went missing. For me, he drowned that night and couldn't be saved. Monday, June 4th of 2018, we all got up early. I remember I had a good neighbor up the street where I lived with my mom, who her daughters and my daughter were like really close friends, and she would sometimes offer to take my daughter to school with her daughters. So I remember just running up the street and bringing up my daughter, and you know, and she definitely took her from me, and that, you know, I appreciated. Then I had my baby still, my youngest. So I remember my daughter's father's mom and her sister, my daughter's aunt, they both came to pick me up, and we dropped off my youngest with her father at that time, and his mom and his sister came with me to search for my brother. And I remember as we're all getting there, and I see this river, and I'm like, I see all the cars and the woods and everything. I'm like, so this is it. I gotta prepare for the worst. I know I wasn't ready, and I would cry, but it wasn't I was so in shock. I was like, yo, like this, like it was unexpected. So as the workers, the diver team was in there like looking for him. The boat was out like looking for him still. The next morning, nothing. And I remember walking around, like climbing, going down the hills of the woods looking for him, because in my mind, okay, so if he drowned, maybe, because I know like there's times that, well, I hear stories that eventually after a couple hours the body will like rise up. So in my head, I'm thinking, you know, maybe that's the case. Maybe he already, you know, rised up, and he's, I don't know, branches got his body like stuck or something. So we're all looking through the edges of the area to see. We don't see anything. But his girlfriend kept saying that, kept pointing out to the area that he actually went down. But the divers kept avoiding that area. They kept searching like around it, like away, like yeah. I feel like I would do, let me just cut this out real quick, but I would do another I would love to do another video when I'm much ready to bring you guys to that area. And I haven't gotten back to that day. Like I haven't gotten back to that place since this tragic loss. But I feel like the day I do go back, I would really record my reaction and stuff. But as of now, I am not going back to that place. I drive by that place and I break down crying because it's such a hard thing to deal with. Okay, so now, so as we're searching, nothing is going on. So I remember everyone's searching, family's crying, everyone's emotional. Now I remember we're on top because there was a big rock where the friends and his girlfriend, everybody were. We're all surrounded there, like in the middle, and we're just talking to each other until we hear the divers. They weren't saying it to us, they were saying it to like their other helpers, like the other divers. We found him, and to this day I still remember that. And they said, in between them, but obviously they're like far away from each other, they said it so loud that the family members heard it, and they said, we found him. I remember running, being the first one running down the hill, and oh gosh, seeing his body being lifted up from underneath the water. I was literally at that moment, as I'm like going down and yelling like, oh my god, like I remember my mom running down right behind me. As I'm trying to stop myself, I'm trying to stop her, but I already see what I see, and everyone ran towards that area where the cops were like, I remember the cop holding my mom, everybody back. But for me, I stood way behind, to the point like right down the hill. I dropped right there. I dropped down like right that, like I went down the hill and I dropped there. And I still remember, like, so I was the first one seeing him get lifted up from under the water. And it's, gosh, I'm trying, guys. So yeah, I dropped to the floor, ground, like crying and yelling and saying no. And to this day, it is an image I won't be able to like get off my head. Like I can't delete that. It's an image that is stuck with me forever. I remember my daughter's aunt like grabbing me and just going down with me, trying to hold me, and I just cried, and loudly crying. And it's so guys, I'm crying. I'm trying not to, but yeah, and it was so hard just crying. And gosh, hey guys, this is a topic I feel like I thought I was ready, but obviously when you actually think about everything that happened, that occurred, the images, the things that was said, that wasn't said, like everything is just like comes back, and obviously it's like the emotion starts to show, and it's hard. And if you are seeing this video and you know how it feels to or you just don't know how to cope with it, the best thing I could say is just, don't be afraid to speak about it. Don't be afraid to cry. Like, it's okay to cry, trust me. Just, yeah, that's it. So yeah, I remember my mom just breaking down crying. I couldn't. Then I managed to hold myself together after a bit, and I remember going into the car and calling my oldest brother. He lives in Puerto Rico. I'm thinking he already like knows by my mom, because everyone's over down still in the place, you know, going crazy, you know. And I called my oldest brother, and I'm like crying already, and I'm trying to tell him, like, you know, he's working. I'm like, oh, like, te dijeron, like, did they tell you? And he was like, no, like, he already know, you know, he's missing and stuff, but he doesn't know that we found him drowned, you know. So the fact that I had to break it down to my mom, just the news at first, it's also crazy the fact that I also had to tell my other brother, and it was hard seeing that. So I remember telling my brother, you know, they found him. He's not here no more. He, you know, drowned. Like, there's nothing they could have done. They said they did everything, you know. You know, I just see my brother, because it was through FaceTime, and I just see him crying, and it was a real difficult time. I think the whole experience that I had to experience and go through, because it's not something, yeah, like, you're gonna always remember, but for me, it hit me so much harder due to the fact that the next very day, so when we found his body, was on a Monday, June 4th. The next day was my youngest daughter's first birthday. So dealing with all this, and then trying your hardest to like put a smile on, and like for your daughter, like, oh, sing happy birthday, and it was so hard. Like, and till this day, like, she is 3 years old, and the next 2 birthdays after that, it was like, I'm sad this day, and then on her birthdays, like, I'm trying to be strong for her the next very day, because it's her birthday. So it's something that this was like a difficult story that I wanted to speak about. It's really hard, but this story experience, I hope that you guys you know, understand where I'm coming from, like what I'm trying to say. I'm trying, but I'm a really emotional girl. Like, I cry like this, especially when it's stories like this of stuff I personally literally had to go in. I know you know, this is my story as his sister. Pretty sure my mom has her own, you know, her say. I'm pretty sure his girlfriend has her own say. And trust me, this hasn't been easy for neither of us, none of our family. Like, it's something that it wasn't unexpected. Like, it was unexpectedly, like, it just happened. Like who knows? Like, it's just crazy. So that, you know, the fact that, you know, he went fishing, and then he went to go for a swim, and then that happened. I've been trying my best. To this day, I feel like I am still trying to grieve. Like, I'm still coping with his loss. But I feel like I'm much stronger. Like I said, I am so much stronger now. I couldn't back when it happened. It was like a back-to-back thing for me, due to the fact that same year, me and my youngest daughter's father had broken up. So I was really going through a real heartbreak. Like, it was really, really hard. That heartbreak was horrible. And the fact that, you know, it was unexpectedly, but losing my brother on top of the pain I was already going through. It was like I was just, you know, I was too overwhelmed. I was too hurt. I could say I was broken. It was a back-to-back thing, you know, like, you know, I was dealing with painful heartbreak that I, you know, was trying to cope with, but then my brother's loss happened. Like, he passed away, like, unexpectedly. So it's like a back-to-back thing. Like, you know, the year before this, I lost my grandma. So it's like I swear, like, it's just everything is was happening so unexpectedly, and I was just trying to cope with my brother's loss the best way I could. But I know that I felt bad. Like, I felt for like a few months, or probably more, probably to this day, I still feel like that. I still feel like I could have been a better sister. I could have been a better, you know, friend, you know, to him. I feel like I could have been there a little bit more than I was. I know my brother wasn't the best, but last thing, one chance to say one last thing to him. It will be I love you, and I'm sorry. I think the last things I would want to say to him if I had the chance is that I miss him, that I love him, and that he was a great brother. So guys, sorry guys. All right. A hard thing, and yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is I'm crying because of how I'm thinking of everything so much, and it's not like I don't think of him, but I'm like really sitting down and thinking of every little thing that happened. So it's understandable. So I hope you guys get my video. Like, I hope you guys understand my story. Time I lost my brother. Me coping with grief is still an ongoing thing. As you can see, I'm still trying to manage. I'm still holding myself together. So this is like my story, and let me just recap if you guys. So I lost my brother. In the river. He tragically drowned. Something we could have done. I wasn't there, so I wish. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, I lost him, and I hope you guys yeah. So that's the little recap. Like, I lost my brother, and trying to deal with grief. Like I said, I'm still going through it, I'm much stronger now. You know, and this stuff it's a reason why I have such, I have so much to say, and I have so much experience, things I went through that I did it. Like, I did this YouTube for this reason, to be able to speak about my experiences and say how I'm doing or how I'm dealing with it, because I know whoever comes across this video and is currently going through something, they could relate to my struggles. They could relate to what I've been through or what I'm still going through. And the story is something it means a lot to me. And trust me, from my personal experience, I wanted to keep this all to myself, but I feel like I wanted to share it now. And I hope, like I've been saying, I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. Guys, hope you guys enjoy my story time, and make sure you guys like, comment, and you guys subscribe for more videos like these, because I have so much more videos like these story times to upload. And just stay tuned for more videos. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and I love you. Bye.